Hi, I'm Nicholas Wallwork, CEO of the Redbrick Development Group, propertyforum.com, and globally released author of Investing in International Real Estate for Dummies. If you haven't read it now, go and jump on Amazon, type Nicholas Wallwork, and you'll find the book. Load of wealth of information on all different property strategies. Now, what is an exit strategy, and why is it so vital to your development project? Should you be considering secondary exit strategies when designing your layouts? And why should you be exit-led? Now, I'm an investor and developer for 20 years, and over those years I've learned the hard way many times. And the reason I do these videos, not the reason I'm on this dirty great big lift, and I'm not allowed to drive this, by the way, I don't have a license. You need a license for one of these apparently. As much as I'd love to whiz up and down, it's a bit wobbly here, so God knows what it's like up in the air. But having gone through that, grinding 20 years and building the business and building my knowledge and expertise and track record and the team around me to deliver size of sites like this 30,000 square foot commercial conversion behind me, I've learned a few things along the way, and I've learned that you need to be exit led. That means you start at the end and work your way backwards. It's the same for buying a building. If you're sourcing, you start with the end value, what you think you can get, what your layout's going to get you, how you're going to sell those apartments and what price for, work back your construction costs, your profit margins that you want, and then you've got a site value, and that's how you offer on sites when you know your own exit. Two different developers might have different exits. You might be a luxury house builder, you might be a flat builder, you might be commercial conversions expert, you might be a new build expert, you might be Taylor Wimpey and Redrow Homes building hundreds of houses around the country, And so each of those developers might have a slightly different exit. But over the years, I've done many exits. I've done many strategies on exit, whether it be Airbnb models and short-term let models. We've let to displaced people and asylum seekers, and we're still working hard to be able to help that tenant group, which is a really vital part to help displaced people. We've worked with council tenants. We've worked on corporate lets. We've built micro studio blocks. We've built HMOs. We've done an awful lot of stuff over the years, and understanding that exit and that target demographic, how to build your site to a certain market is absolutely critical. It's where you need to start. And it makes sourcing so much easier. When you know what you're building and what spec and what your client needs, what your tenant client I'm talking about needs, you can go and find the right building to suit those needs in the right locations. There's no point in being a student developer and investor if you're going to go and buy in an area where there are no students, right? Pretty obvious, a really obvious example, but that's how you're led by the exit. You're led by where the demand is for that particular product that you're going for. You need to choose your niche and then go and find the perfect property for that niche. So when looking at large scale developments like this, how many exit options should you have? Well, there's no hard and fast answer to that. There's no, right and wrong answer, but the answer I will give you is as many as possible. Certainly at least two valid exits. And those could be as simple as we're going to try and sell them, and if we can't sell them, we're going to let them. So having one eye on the letting market, how to maximise your yields, how to design a product that would lend itself to letting will be really key. For this site, for example, the client's more than happy to keep a number of units at the end if they want to keep their equity and their end profit margin in a few units. They're investors, they've got over 60 or 70 buy-to-lets at the moment, another 44 on the books here working with myself. So, they're happy to keep some units. So having a double exit option in this scenario is really helpful. It means we can spec the apartments appropriately. We're not going mad on spec, but it is a much higher spec than rental. So we're going for the higher end of the two, which is the sales market, which is a higher spec, bit more money spent on it, but it solidifies that exit sale option because we've got a quality product which an end user is going to want as their home. But it's also, we've not gone completely overboard. We're not doing granite in every single unit. A couple of units have got granite, and you can up spec that if you want as an additional cost. So in here we've actually got 3 show homes, and those could be let fully furnished. So we're not wasting money furnishing. It can be reused or it can be sold on. And in fact, the show home's priced at about £10,000 more than the next one along because it's fully furnished, and we spent about 7 or 8 grand on it. So make a little bit of profit on the furniture, and it's negotiable. If someone comes in and wants the show home with all the furniture, we might be fair to them. But ultimately, everything is thought about twice. Multiple exit options are there for a reason. How do you plan your layouts with multiple exit options in mind? Well, I do a clever trick. I do a couple of clever tricks, so I don't mind sharing you. I do something called 2DOs, which is where I turn a 1 bed into 2 studios. It's not quite 2 studios, and it's a great way to get around the minimum size requirements in permitted development schemes, which is now 37 square metres, the national space standard. I turn a 1 bed and I put an ensuite in the lounge. So you can have 2 ensuite bedrooms, and by shutting a door in the corridor, you separate off the communal kitchen and the communal bathroom, if you had a communal bathroom. And by shutting that door, that communal bathroom becomes integral into the bedroom that's next door to it. So you'll have one ensuite and one with the communal bathroom that becomes an ensuite by an addition of an additional door in the centre corridor. So little tricks like that mean I could let that to 2 people, for example, as opposed to just one. Now, we haven't had to use it too much on this site. We've done a few like that for future occupiers, but you know, that could work really well in a larger scale scheme where we've done sort of care home conversion and hotel conversions where they are multi-let. They're more an HMO, a bit more of an intensive model. You can do layout changes that really suit that use, and separating off different parts of the building keeps the noise down, you know, good acoustic flooring, extra spec on things like carpets and underlay to reduce noise and soundproofing can really help your development. So it's not just the layout, but the construction can lend itself differently depending on your end exit. So the main thrust of this video is be exit led, have multiple exit options. Think about your target market, your end strategy, and up spec it so you have multiple exit options. Even if you didn't want to rent them, thinking about up-speccing a little bit more in case you sold it in the future could be vital. Could be a vital exit for you if cash flow runs short and you need to sell a site. You know, so yeah, keep exit-led in mind. Plan your whole strategy beforehand. Think about it. And if you're not sure what to do, if you're not sure what strategy or what kind of conversion to do, get the education in there. You know, come and do some mentoring with me. I do mentoring for people. I can help guide you through the practical aspects. Maybe you've been on a course, you're not quite sure how to get started. Well, let's work through some sites. Let's do some sourcing. Let's figure out the end strategy, what might work for you, what your passion is, what's your area, how far from home do you want to go, how do you actually source, you know, some of the tips and tricks I use working with various agents. And you know, it's really exit led, and if you start from the exit and work backwards, you can be more laser focused in your sourcing and strategy. So I hope this video has been useful. Please reach out using the video details around this video, nicholaswallwork.com. If you'd like to work with me in any capacity, I'd love to hear from you. Please do comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on another video very soon. Take care. Bye bye.